I realized since the computer reset it, it never saved any of the settings from what was wrong from the last stream. Oh, this is almost a complete disaster. But the plus side is I really do get to play this game, and this game really is nerve wracking. It is, especially the whole skip the werewolves. I really do believe these guys were werewolves, and let me tell you, it was just bullets need to start working in video games. You hear that? Or they have to hand over more bullets. Just saying. Just putting that out there. Is there anything in this room that I needed to get? This was... Yep. There was like one more thing. This was locked on the other end. I'll do it like that. Rats? Yep, on cue. I do remember no monsters, so I don't really need to worry about like actually having to have reflexes here. I really thought I could slide. Don't ask me why I thought I could slide. I thought I could slide. I didn't realize you last time. Ooh. Good eye. Why, thank you. I know.
Where have they taken Rose?
That door doesn't open. McFaddy's over here.
Oh, we meet again. Duke, why are you here?
I realize this is a photo mode, right? Do we know what Ethan looks like? Okay, it's only based upon what you see, rather than like the environment as like a third person kind of aspect. Just double checking on that.
Ah, yes, yes. Please do take a look at
One
my
of
new
these.
stock.
That's all.
This simple modification can be done in just a moment.
Is that 10 more bullets? Oh, okay. Things I can sell. Oh my god, I was about to sell. I was about to sell bullets. Jesus, fuck no. I was about to sell my gun. I'm like, oh, that was an interesting gun. I am error, is what I just learned.
I saw you eyeing that one.
I kind of want the shotgun. I have a feeling they might just give me one. I'm not sure. You know, I don't really need this.
I'm skilled at all sorts of weapons modifications, and will do them for
I'm skilled at all sorts of weapons,
Good day,
motherfucker.
then.
I'm like, I wasn't ready, dude. Was not ready for that kind of honesty, but you know. Could have sworn I bought ammunition. I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna pause my game again. Why? I'm really confused on how this game works. Cause I thought I bought ammunition from dude. Ten minutes left. I keep seeing this in tilt. You doubted Bella, Cassandra, and Daniel. Well, there are boots here. Nothing happens. I can't think. What the fuck was that? I just realized. That was like a sound effect I didn't need to hear because I didn't do anything. That's a gate. This house is noisy as fuck. That's all from the other side. I think I hear footsteps that aren't mine. Okay. Okay. Okay, from there. Running in horror games is never a good idea. Unless you know you're running specifically from something. The wine room. 7 minutes left. Was I even whistling? No. Oh, the wind. Whistling of the wind. Okay. This ring is worthless. It's an eyeball. Why does that not work? I know why. I need to examine it, don't I? I don't want to use it there. I want to examine it. Hey, creepy lady. I got your eyeball. Oh. No. Don't want none of this. Oh, that's gross. That's all kind of gross. Ah, God.
I haven't cut open a man in a while.
There's a lot of words here,
I'll
Madam.
string you up, slice your jugular, and just watch. Taken alive, dead, which would you prefer?
If I told you I wouldn't prefer any, would that be? Out of my face, bugs. Oh, she's probably gone. I know she ain't gone, but shit. Lock from the other side. Okay, she might be gone. Music stops. It was a normal reaction to shoot. My bad. Also, that was Hunter, you guys. Apparently, he's still alive. Alright, so that was something. So I went to this down here, right? Yep.
Trying to work up my appetite, are
Nope,
you?
nope. Go through the door. Find something that isn't. Hold on, hold on. I think I got it. I think I got it. Jump down. Jump. Ah, shit. Okay. I don't got time to read all that. That's not how that works. She can kill me because she can. That's not how that works. I'm almost certain she can kill me. He was saying that, oh, she can't kill you because you're the main character? I'm peeping. I'm totally peeping right now. She's really tall. Like, I underestimated how tall people said she was. She is really, really tall. Bullets, thank God. That box? Okay, box I can't use. Are those mice? Ew. I crawled through there. She went through here. Good. Just want to be sure. Just wanted to be sure. She hasn't ranted yet. Ah. We don't know it's a demo. She could have already ranted. How much time do I have left? 2 minutes. Hey, look, there's a lot of ammunition in the game. There's a lot of blood on the floor. There's a lot of things happening. What are they all fighting? Oh, each other. Okay. Does that make sense? So I'm here, right? Wait a minute. Trust in light. Don't even know what that means. Oh, okay. I think I do. There we go. There we go. How about this? Touch that. Touch this. There we go. It's dark as motherfucking. It is dark in here. It is seriously dark in here. Is that like a torch I can pick up? Torches? Anything? Sharp pointy sticks. Oh. Well. Ethan. I'm glad you have a flashlight. Really am. Candidates and rejects. Well, that's always good to know. Break down the list. Syringes, bottles. Fuck you! Ooh, ooh, ooh! I couldn't turn. Sup? I am error. I not kill somebody? Did I not kill you? No, no, you did. The demo ran out of time on the demo. A pretty intense time for things to kind of get to where it was getting. And we've always seen this. Hey, you know what? They don't let you skip this.
As the midnight moon rises on black wings,
I'm glad it doesn't count as time.
light at the end. In life and in death, glory to Mother Miranda.
When you're whining, we're almost there.
Rose, where are you?
Hello. If there are any survivors out there, come to Louisa's house near the fields.
Oh no, they're coming. Who is? What the hell was that? Stop shouting. You'll draw the monsters.
Tell me, what is going on around here?
It doesn't make any sense. Mother Miranda has always protected us.
You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Is this all that's left? From your entire village? All that's left? There is no one left! We can bust out with this.
Lycans and gentlemen, we thank you for waiting. And now let the games begin!
There is no safe! Every sorry bastard out there has been ripped in half. Tomorrow we'll all be dead.
No, let me go!
Chris? What the hell? Why?
Ethan Winters.
Mr. Winters. Ethan Winters.
Ethan. Poor Ethan.
Ethan Winters. Welcome.
Once again, I don't get the point of those goggles. Maybe it's
I gotta
just me.
say,
I
I'm
don't get
surprised
it.
you made it this far. It'd be a shame if something happened to you now.
You killed Mia. Now do me and finish the job.
I almost do want to get the game, but for those of you who know me, I don't like playing scary games. And it's not like it's a scary game, but like I still have yet to beat the third remake. So I just barely finished Resident Evil 2. I haven't even played Resident Evil 7. Like I've seen a couple Markiplier gameplay playthrough of it. And I like Resident Evil. I do like there are times I'm in the mood for it, but there are also times that I am definitely not in the mood for it. And since Hunter hasn't messaged back, I'm guessing that he. I have no idea what he's up to. Oh no, there he is. Like he knew he was being called upon. So give me a quick hot second. Alright. Hunter, welcome. Alright. Hunter, welcome.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Oh, so yeah. I was like I said, I went to the bathroom. I forgot you called, and I lowered the sound so because I was watching your stream, so I didn't want it to echo.
Makes sense when I saw that you were commenting. Well, It looks good. The game definitely is the whole idea of first person. Definitely gives you a different perspective of how horror survivors should work, considering that you can't use tricks like third person peek around corner kind of thing.
Yes. Ooh, excuse me. So why don't you get it? You clearly enjoy the type of game.
I do, but like one for many reasons I'm not going to get it right now. Not because it's not a good, not because I don't think it'll be a good game. Mainly like I said right before you called, I am still making my way through eventually finishing Resident Evil 3. Like, you know, my backlog is tremendously huge right now. With me adding a game like this, I don't think I would actually be able to give it the time that one, it deserves, and two, $60. Like it is a $60 game. It looks very. It's not glitchy. It doesn't look like bad, like no bad quality. And keep in mind, I'm playing on PC on I think medium setting right now, so it doesn't look bad on medium setting. So the game doesn't look bad. It doesn't play bad. And the only reason I am not getting it right now is because I seriously have a longer list of video games let me get through before I can actually give this game the time it deserves. But that's my opinion. What is your opinion based on you just watching? Granted, a choppy stream of this, but seeing what you were able to see regardless.
It's a good game. It's not my style of game because, like you said, I don't do the horror games. Mainly, not two reasons. I'm not a horror game guy, and this is definitely one of those games where, like, whether you play it or you see it, you experienced it. There's no other reason to reboot the game.
Oh, you mean whenever you're done with the story?
Yeah, once you're done, you're done. I mean, I'm sure they got mercenary mode and like the versus mode or whatever, but for the bulk of why you're buying it,
it's a story. It's a $60 story.
It's one of those games which is weird. I mean, it's a good game for that reason, but it's one of those games where if you just watch somebody no commentary 9-hour playthrough on YouTube, you could still get the whole story experience. Like, you won't see their reaction, of course, but you know what I mean? Like, meeting, all the main people. Let's say you cut out the puzzles, because doing the puzzles is different from watching the puzzles.
Yeah.
So, if you just cut that out and show every major story beat and, like just commentary to maybe the guy playing, it's like, I'm not losing too much. That's what I was saying earlier. If there was a way, it's like, oh, if you're just watching the game, you can't even see the monsters. You gotta actually play.
And that would be an interesting way that a demo could work. But I wouldn't even know how to begin to like program or code that. Like, I know there are games where like one character can see. I think Deep Space? No. The one with the guy who was in space and uses the gun to cut off limbs. What is that called? Dead Space.
Yeah.
There, on the third Dead Space, there were bad guys that one, like when you co-op, one of you saw, the other one didn't. I'm like, that is such an interesting concept there. But like, I don't know how that would work when it comes to like, oh, you yourself recording can see the enemies, but if you were streaming it or I mean, the player can see it, but if you were recording or streaming it, then your fans wouldn't be able to see it. People who were viewing it wouldn't be able to see it unless one, they were actually in front of you watching the game as you're playing in real time, in real life, in your room, or they would have to go out and get the game. And so I see your point of view. I'm not sure how that would even be possible.
Well, to be fair, again, you're overthinking it. They could just have some code in the game that detects if you're streaming on your computer or some shit. Like, literally, they already do that, which is like, or build it into the game. Like, hey, tie your Twitch in. Like, cool, great. Now people won't see the monsters.
And you only have that hour to play, so you can't really like, oh shit, I need to figure out how to like redo that.
Well, I mean more into the, in terms of like not just the hour demo, but more like build a game with that in mind, knowing that most people stream it. Like build a reason
for people
like
to buy the game and not stream the game.
No, for a reason for people who are you stream the game for them to play. Like Cyberpunk has that reason because you build your own guy and do whatever the fuck you want. Whereas something like you watching me play Cyberpunk isn't going to lessen your impact of you playing Cyberpunk because you're going to do everything completely different.
Because it's my own guy and do my own. Okay.
With your own skills. But within, I was about to say Siege. Within this game,
it's a linear story going in one direction.
Like you was wasting bullets on something you knew that couldn't hurt you.
Well, we have been through this before.
I know. Stop getting scared at jump scares. Like
it's not. It wasn't fear. It was like you assume that it's Resident Evil 6. I assume that anything can still kill me.
That's the assumptions I'm trying to open your mind to.
So I should stand in the wasp
are the things that are actually taking your health down and punch you in the face.
Well, kill my. I don't remember being hurt in this entire. No, I was hurt.
No, you was hurt with the dudes in the weeds or whatever. Right. Those guys. You shoot them. But the cutscene people, you just look at them like, all right, let's get it. Like Bugs was coming out your hand. He's like, I'm fine to still hold this gun. You get slapped around by a werewolf and like, oh shit, I need to heal. I'm like, I think you need to change your priorities. Your body is spawning insects. But it's cool. We still gotta walk through this house. Like, all right. The cutscene damage. I mean, I part of the game.
I think that's what happened. Like, I was really just immersed into the actual playing. Like, oh shit! And keep in mind, my mind was also in the backdrop. I got 10 minutes. I got 8 minutes. I like the one shot concept, but because of that, it ruins the experience I'm experiencing. Because I'm like, okay, just gotta get through as much as I can. Like, I wanted to explore. I wanted to read more. I wanted to understand a lot more of what was going on. The game was like, hey, congratulations, you did 45 minutes of the game. Like, okay, yeah, you're right. Let me stop fucking around on the lore and let me get right ahead on the whole concept of playing as much as I can before I run out of time. But yeah, I definitely probably should have not shot. But at the same time, I only shot 3 shots until she went away, and I didn't want to fight. I just didn't want her to be in my direct path.
And to be fair, they needed the game timer. They need that demo timer.
Why do you say that?
Because we already discussed that it's a linear game, and that do you watch somebody else's replay? At that point, whoever you watch play, let's just focus on the demo. Whoever you watch play, the action in the game would be the same. You're really just watching for their commentary at that point. So they need a way to get people to go through hey, there's no need, because replaying the demo isn't going to give you anything new. You might find a note or something you could actually read it, but you're not going to find an alternate path or, you know what I mean? So it's get the hype up, go buy the fucking game, leave us alone. You see how it runs on your computer, you get an hour, you get your little YouTube clicks and your people following your thing, and that's it. But it's not one of the. It's kind of the same way. If the main game ain't gonna give you no replay, the demo definitely is not. Whereas something like Outriders, I put 25 hours in because I grinded up my character for the main game release. That's a completely different experience. If you're into that game, even if you watch me play that game, you're like, I'm gonna build that class completely different than you did, and just have a different experience.
So, Richard, what you're saying is the concept of linear versus more of an open style way of gaming.
But that's the problem. I won't say problem. That's a challenge that I guess single player linear style games will still have a place. It's just with the focus on streaming and stuff now, it's kind of Brad probably got 3 million views on his RE8 gameplay. How many people will buy it if they watch his whole 50 episode playthrough or however many he goes up to? You know what I mean?
On a financial aspect, but that's kind of where gaming's going to right now. Okay, well, I can choose to play this game, or I can just choose to watch somebody else play this game and more or less have the same experience. I think that's one of the reasons why I didn't buy Resident Evil 7. Because I walk after a while, I'm like, you know what? I don't see myself buying, not because I don't think it's a good game, but because at the time I really didn't have that kind of money to drop on games like that. But watching Markiplier play it, it was virtually as much. I'm like, okay, well, I can play the game and I'll have my own experience from it. True, but the only real difference is that rather than Markiplier going through and common. Like eliminating some of the horror with his humor, I'm just doing it by myself in my living room.
And you already experienced like all the main
beats.
Like there's no surprises and shit for you either.
Yeah.
Which is different than something like if you're playing like Apex Legends and you watch somebody play and then you play it, obviously it's gonna be a different,
Yeah.
Same game but different ways of coming together.
Tomato in a sense.
So yeah, like you said, for single player linear games like this, it's like, hey, we still need you. But if you watch it, that's why you asked me if I watch certain stuff or if I read reviews of Outriders. I'm like, no, because I wanted to see the story fresh. Like I stopped keeping track of the game after I played the demo. Like I know I liked it, I know it works. I'll wait for them to patch it. I'll catch it after, because people keep handing me games. Like you gave me No Man's Sky.
Yeah. And I might just sit there for a while.
WSD friend just gave me Streets of Rage 4, and I'm like, dude, really? I told you not to buy this fucking game.
You didn't even like those kind of games.
I like beat 'em ups.
Not like that.
Obviously, I do. I like half of my game library are beat 'em up.
Yeah,
like,
beat 'em up with somebody else. I just didn't think it was beat 'em up with AIs. I figured you like the whole
Well, no, I was gonna use Streets of Rage as one of the game picks because it's 4-player co-op.
That's not a bad idea.
So that's gonna sit there. But I mean, like you said, I'm trying to reduce my backlog too, but I also try not to keep looking at things because that's how they get you. They get you on a hype train, and then you're all in, and then you get something. You're like, I don't like right now. The only other game I'm focused on right now, other than the co-op games and other than Rivalry, is probably Divinity would be the next game I get, so we could co-op that.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I think it's just weird. Like even because the last game I watched straight through was Rad Brad play Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna need more. Even though it has like a different thing, like it doesn't have enough to justify me buying the game.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from there.
That's why I asked you about the multiplayer and stuff and the game modes. And I just saw they had an update with the new character that can hypnotize people and take over their bodies or whatever.
All right. Is that what it is? I was reading it. I'm like, oh, that's something the lady can hypnotize people and make them go to sleep. And I didn't know she can possess. That seems like mystic. That seems like really more sci-fi than more sci-fi than nonfiction. Not nonfiction. More sci-fi than fiction. Sorry. Because the idea of her taking over somebody else's body, unless they explain oh yeah, she uses nanomachines to get into their bloodstream and then hijack their body that way. But that's still crazy. But anyway, sorry. Keep going.
Well, to be fair, the reason why I brought that up, that's the type of stuff I do want from the game.
Because you already have off the wall kind of shit.
Huh?
You mean that off the wall kind of shit?
Well, the reason why I say that is because you already have technology there where you could quote unquote play as anybody. So her, from a gameplay standpoint, taking over her body isn't nothing more for the game than other changing the camera perspective. Really, that's it. Because the character was already made, their skills was already generated. They there. So I want more views in the world and characters you already have in it and make it be like, hey, you could replay it many times and get different experiences. Give me, I don't know. I think Ubisoft just be tripping.
Sometimes.
I can't. Like you said, where's Splinter Cell? For Honor had an event and they had, what you said, just cosmetics and emotes. So it's come on, guys. And a battle arena for a feast or something. It's not even throwing some AI enemies, all of the For Honor people had to come together to fight off an invasion of AI guys as an event or something something completely off the wall.
They had skeletons a little while back, but I do get what you mean. I definitely do get what you mean. They kind of have to up the game a little bit rather than like we're just gonna add this one or two things. Like you're competing against other companies and other groups who are like, okay, well, guys, for this event for May 4th, we're giving you like virtually a brand new game. What was it? Rainbow Six. You really liked that one event that they had. You're like, I wish they kept that. I'm like, but if they did, but I see that as like more of a breeding ground of okay, what can we do in the future that people are gonna like? And I heard that like they're doing obviously you've heard they're doing Quarantine, a game based upon the Quarantine on Rainbow Six, because the reception of it was just that great for it. So like there are companies that are doing it right, understanding, okay, this is what's working, this is what isn't. And there are other companies out there like, this isn't working. How about if we tweak it a little bit and we try it again? I'm like, dude, that's how that works.
That's a good point, actually. What you just brought up just reminded me of something. That's exactly what I'm getting at. If you look at Capcom versus, because Capcom also print Monster Hunter. If you look at Capcom versus Ubisoft, Ubisoft already went 90% of their games are already multiplayer focused.
Mm.
Like, yeah, Watch Dogs Legion has a story, but their popular games is what? Siege, For Honor. Excuse me. Give me some other ones. Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I was just about to say Assassin's Creed.
Which
Wildlands, Breakout.
Which has a story. Yeah, like they all have like that same formula to where they can just like their multiplayer focused game like Siege and For Honor is like, hey, we don't need to worry about if we make a level, real people will play on it. We don't need a story reason. There's a terrorist. There's a bomb. Go stop them.
I think they've also done that kind of like not just Ubisoft, but like I think the pinnacle whenever that changed was whenever I don't remember who made the latest Call of Duty, but the one where it was like, hey guys, I know you probably think that you want a story mode in your Call of Duty, but we all know you really just want multiplayer and maybe a battle royale. So they put out a multiplayer only Call of Duty with a battle royale, which is completely free. And people are still playing that. People are battling each other on that as if it's like the new Fortnite. So I say all of that to say that they are just like you're saying, learning from certain things and trying to catch certain waves and kind of letting certain things go because one, certain things make money, which are more of a sure thing than things like, okay, let's take a risk and potentially this $10 million project is going to go flat on its face. Like, what was it? Bleeding Razor. Flat on its face. There's other projects that just came out the door like, hey guys, we're going to be really good. And then plop.
Well, yeah, I understand why they do it. I guess what I'm saying from the standpoint is, like, yeah, for using Warzone, the Battle Royale Call of Duty as an example, you can watch somebody play that, but your experience would be completely different if you're interested in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Versus something focused like Resident Evil Village, which is why I think they won't make a Splinter Cell anymore because they can make so much more money from putting a skin of Sam Fisher in Siege versus actually making a decent storytelling, like single player focused,
stealth game.
and or co-op versus focus, like Pandora Tomorrow or whatever. Oh, Splinter Cell.
Was that Pandora Tomorrow?
Was that? Which one did we play?
Conviction.
Conviction. What was the one before that? Chaos Theory. That was the one.
No. Double Agent, wasn't it?
No, I mean with the spies and mercenaries.
Yeah.
That was Chaos Theory. Was the first one I had that I believe.
Yeah, because it had Bob and Jeff or some shit like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, because I remember you having to throw you over lasers.
Yes.
And that never worked.
But that's what I'm saying. Those games take effort where they could just drop Sam Fisher into an already popular game they have and make probably $10 million in DLC.
Yeah, just like that one trailer we saw whenever we were watching the trailer for Watch Dogs Legion. Like, The Squad? Was that what it was called? With all the other characters?
Which character?
Elite Squad, that's what it was called. It was like one of those mobile... It was the video we watched.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mobile game or some shit.
Yeah. Same idea, like, okay, we don't really need to make a brand new IP. We just use characters that other people already like, because that's a lot easier. And we know that's going to produce more money than if we try another IP and it falls flat on its face and no one cares.
And the crazy part is, I think another reason why they let Splinter Cell go is because maybe the people who made it aren't there anymore.
That could be true.
Because in the same time frame, they dropped at least 12 Assassin's Creed.
I know, right?
And the systems got way better. Like, a new Splinter Cell game would be freaking amazing from a graphics and gameplay perspective. Amazing. Just using, it could be first person, it could be third. It doesn't even, like, it's not like they can't do it. They won't do it.
Because that kind of shit would just take too much time and too much energy and everything else.
Splinter Cell, hold on. And they could at least start a new generation. Splinter Cell last release. Blacklist came out in 2013.
That's what it was. No, but no, you mean never played. Did we play Blacklist? Because I know that has a multiplayer function too.
Played the one before that.
Which was Conviction.
Yeah, Conviction. Because that was Spy v Spy.
No, that was Merc versus Spy. The one previous to that was Spy versus Spy.
No, I mean, we played the Conviction, which was Spy versus Spy.
Was it?
Yes, because we both were spies sneaking around. I had a shotgun. We went through this.
That's right, yeah, and there's a whole room of people. I'm like, there's no way he's getting out of that alive. Pulls out a shotgun, shoots everybody, sees me going, the fuck? And then shoots me. Oh, I hated that.
It's literally almost 7 years since the release of Blacklist.
Yes.
And they had, what, like 4 Ghost Recon since?
2.
What?
Well, maybe.
No, I mean, like, since, like, 2013. Like...
You tell me. I'm pretty sure it's just Wildlands and Breakpoint.
They had Ghost Recon Phantoms in 2014.
That's right, and that's no
Wildlands in 2017 and Breakpoint in 2019. They also had Commander in 2012, Future Soldier in 2012, Shadow Wars in 2011. Damn. So, like, Recon had like a game damn near every year, every other year for a while.
But that's Ubisoft's formula. Every year, guys, we promise you something. It might not be 100% new, but it'll be different.
But Splinter Cell is like dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to fucking Assassin's Creed. And what's that other game? For Honor. Like Siege, for example. Siege is nice, but we still wanted Rainbow Six Patriot. I still want that fucking game.
I still want, well, the idea of a story, and the story seemed pretty interesting whenever it came out. But once again, that would have been so. All right, since we're talking about Resident Evil Village, and I'm trying not to get too far, but I still want to continue this conversation. What would make something like Patriot, which is also very much a linear story, just not even how you get there. This bad guy between here and there, you shoot all the ones between here and there. How's that different from this particular game, and how Capcom's doing it now? What would make you get? What's the real difference between this game being, other than the fact that it's not really your genre, but still the idea that this is a linear story, and so was almost every other Rainbow Six game.
Okay, so to answer your first question, what would make me get it? Like, if I was interested in the game, I wouldn't watch anything about it. That's because you have to now, because otherwise you get the whole story. Like, I already know how Cyberpunk ends. When the shit came out, I know what the ending is.
How'd you? Because people. Okay. Yeah, I always try to avoid that. I still don't know how it ends.
I don't know exactly how it ends, but I kind of know, like, somewhat of the wording, or like what, like shit you pick up on is what I'm saying. I haven't got there yet, but I kind of get the gist of what happens.
Mm.
And that's what I'm talking about. But I still was going to play through Cyberpunk because of the thing.
Mm.
Like, because I enjoy that type of game. Like, if I enjoyed Rainbow Six, Resident Evil, I would have just bought the game from the jump. Like, hey, is it, like, I looked at, like, a review that said, hey, what's the performance like? Since there is a demo, I want to need to do that. And then just jump in. Whether now or in a couple months.
Okay.
Or Siege. Not Siege. Patriot. Yes, that is a single player thing, but if they added like a 4-player co-op or whatever that gets me to buy it up front, I would have played through the story mode that way without watching anything about it. And then they probably would have added like the Siege game mode to the multiplayer if you wanted to play long term. You had the multiplayer portion there too. So it's like, hey, we got the co-op story or the single player story. But when I'm done with all that, the story side, there's the siege. We're adding new operators. I'm assuming they would have been the same package, is what I'm saying.
So there really is the difference between Village right now for you and a hypothetical game like Patriot is the end game. What happens when you're done with the story? Was there more to play other than like, hey, let's go through the story again? Whereas Patriot would have like, okay, we have these different modes because it's a squad-based game. Let's have your friends jump into it. Like you want the extra. Like even Resident Evil 3 remake came with Resident Evil Resistance, which is a multiplayer, a multiplayer game. Not a mode, but an actual different game. Within the kind of like the same universe, the same idea of like 4 people trying to escape and one mastermind being another player controlling, when monsters pop up and whatever. But that was what kind of, since people were saying Resident Evil 3 was very much a short game, I think Capcom was thinking, okay, even though it might be shorter than the original Resident Evil 3, we are also adding this multiplayer aspect for whenever you beat the game, you now have an end game thing to kind of keep you Resident Evil. What's the word I'm looking for? Just keep you playing, keep you playing our game. Here's something else. So I'm getting that, and I'm hoping that more games do that when it does come to single player stories. Granted, other games have done it, like Tomb Raider. If you didn't know, Tomb Raider had a multiplayer mode in it. So did Uncharted, I believe, had a multiplayer mode in it too. So there are games out there that are starting to follow that formula. But a game that comes out just as itself, I do see what you mean. Because that's also one of the reasons that I really didn't get too crazy about God of War. Not because it didn't have a multiplayer, but because I knew once I was done playing that game, I'm like, that was a really fun adventure. Take the CD out of the console, put it into the CD case, close the CD case, put it on a shelf, never touch it again. Not because I didn't want to, because like, okay, what else am I going to get out of that?
I agree. But that's why I guess the biggest part for me is if you want to play or experience games like that, I do not watch them. Like, because if you see it, it's not nearly the same. Because 99% of the case, like you said, Resident Evil will be Resident Evil whether you watch Markiplier play it or you spend $60 and you play it. But if you spend $60 and you play it from the gate, it's a different experience for you. Because you're actually, your experience. But if you like watch somebody, you can't. You could buy it and say, hey, I'm going to just buy it to support the developers, but I'm not going to play it. Or I'm going to buy it and gift it to somebody because I'm not going to play it. I already saw somebody play through it. But, I mean, in terms of, like, adding a game to your library, like you want to pick up or play at some point in the future, that's not Resident Evil. And I think the problem with that particular game, their universe isn't really conducive to something like what Siege is doing, where it's like, hey, there's this random guy from Spain. He got a new ability. He's part of Team Rainbow now. All right, cool. Versus Resident Evil, like, we got to figure out how to slap some type of multiplayer into this because it's not really a multiplayer-focused franchise.
True.
Like, there was co-ops through Mercenaries or whatever they called that mode. But other than that, it was never something where you could drop 1,000 hours in this and shoot people through walls like in Siege and, like, become really good versus... And every time they try to do, like, a co-op focused game in Resident Evil, it never turns out right. Like, let the people who's making the mainline titles get a crack at a co-op game.
All right, so when it comes to, like, the co-op, the one true game, we obviously played 6, and granted the story was trash, but I honestly believe the co-op elements were great. The idea that was fun. Resident Evil 5 co-op element right there. That was pretty cool too. You have Revelations. Revelations 2 is a great, but they're learning as they're going through. And even when they're fucking up, like they fucked, like you said, they fucked up on 6. They came up with 7, and I think they said that 7 was the highest. Well, one of their IPs that made the most money out of the entire series. So that's also a good thing that they're learning. But like, I really wanted to say that if you never heard of Resident Evil Outbreak, it was a game back in the day they were trying to do back in the PlayStation 2 time. And that's obviously the first mistake. But like the game was like, it was out of 9 characters. There's 4 players. They get to pick out of 9 characters, and like it's Resident Evil experience. However, it was when PlayStation 2 came out, not when it was coming out. Like it was within that era before. Like I think we talked about the idea, like shit, man, we got dial up, we got like the fastest internet. But now we're at a time where like internet is like so much faster that dial up isn't even a thing anymore. But like back then, you needed dial up plus or something like that to be able to have. And keep in mind, the PlayStation didn't even come with a internet hookup. You had to get an adapter to be able to hook that up. So it was a great game.
Correct.
Like I know a lot of people who played it by themselves because the story, the gameplay, the whole thing was great. It came out. It was literally the best example I ever had of something coming out before its time. And I think Capcom's been trying to make up for that. Like, oh shit, we did it really soon, but like we're building back up to but with games like 7 and 8, where it is just a single player experience. Keep in mind, the second remake was the same way. And Resident Evil 3 is virtually the same. Like, a lot of their games are single player. You sit down, you enjoy the story, you're done with it, close the book, put them back on your shelf, reminisce every now and again, but it still stays there. Whereas, I do want them to do more with that, more of a worldly sense. And I think that's where they were going, but 6 kind of tripped over itself while trying to do that.
Well, 6. So here's what I mean. 6 was good, or like
aspects of it was good. How about that?
Outbreak was exactly what I'm talking about. So here's my point, right? They're not making an Outbreak in 2021 with the
COVID
budget of Resident Evil 8.
Okay.
With that team, like you said, there was another RE game that came out like a year or 2 ago. You was telling me they turned out to be trash, and no one talks about it. Like those multiplayers. Like I want the main people who do the main numbers, RE8, RE7, to make a goddamn Outbreak game in 2021.
You were not alone in that. I really do believe that.
And that's where I'm like, why is that not a thing? Kind of like, why is Capcom focusing single player, Ubisoft is focusing multiplayer. I'm like, I need y'all to swap sometimes. We want a single player Splinter Cell and a multiplayer RE. Why? How the you could sell them in the same game, like, hey, you got the multiplayer mode and you got the story mode, like whatever, cool, whatever, we're by it. Because then you have a reason to pick up RE8, like Village. If you're like, yeah, there's a co-op mode attached too. So you gotta get the game to play the co-op. Like, cool, okay. I don't have interest in the story. I can watch somebody play that, but at least I was still by the game to play the co-op
through the friends and everything else.
Yeah, through off the it could be like a side path, like, oh, you're a bunch of mercenaries coming through the village after the story events or some shit. Whatever. They could make some shit. But that's what I mean. Like you said, Outbreak was good. You told me that was good. Other people said that was good. But that shit came out in 2003, nigga. I was still in high school. No, I graduated in 2003. I was on my way to college.
That's true. Okay.
Like, where is the Outbreak of this new generation with the new hardware, like the RE7 engine? Really, hell, even the RE4 engine at this point, we could get an Outbreak. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, but they slapped together that shit you was telling me about.
Resistance.
RE Versus?
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at that and I'm like, this trailer doesn't even sell me the game. I don't know what the hell. Why is it cartoon? Did y'all like, hey,
because they said that. I'm looking at it, like, I don't see it. I really don't see the cartoon looking aspect of it.
It doesn't look like 8, I'm going to tell you that much. It's like, yo, we got $23. What can you get us? Like, okay, it's going to look like an animated Flash game. What is it called? Reverse?
Yeah, Reverse. Behold, we got about 2 minutes left. Let me ask you, if someone's like, hey, what do you think about this game? Should we pick this game up? What would you tell that person?
For Seed? I mean, shit. For Village?
Yeah.
If you're interested in the game, get the game and do not read about it. And I do believe we need to go back to more of that type of stuff. Like, you can read if there's problems. Read if some shit, like your save get deleted. But don't, I'm going to just watch a couple episodes of Markiplier to see if I like it. Because then you're going to get caught up in, you're going to see all that.
Do it.
You're going to, or you'll meet like the entire cast. Like, oh, I didn't even know that crazy guy was in this from the sequel, from the previous one. You know what I mean? So you lose out on the things, and then you just get lazy. So it's kind of a balancing act. You don't want to buy a dud of a game, but you don't want to keep living through somebody else playing the game. Unless it's something where it's like Apex Legends or Spellbreak or something where you can like, okay, when I play it, I'm going to play differently because I can.
And then the little story beats that you really, yeah, I get that.
What are your thoughts?
I think kind of like what you're saying. If you obviously like Resident Evil, actually, no, I can't even say that. If you like Resident Evil 7, this is along the same line. It's different, but it doesn't mean that different is bad. It is a fun game. It definitely does kind of like, you know, especially if you got headphones on, the audible effects are really good. They fit the atmosphere. If you end up playing the game, you will have fun. I cannot speak on the end game and how satisfied you feel at the end of the game, or even if you're like, you know what, I feel so good, I'll play that twice. there are movies that I like that I don't even play twice. But you know, so like, you know, if that's your thing, then go right ahead. But like if you want something more, I might have to tell you to look for something else. Watch somebody else play it. Be like, okay, I got the feel of what the story is. I got the feel of what the lore is. I understand what's going on. So I might have to say, like, you know, for the majority of people, you know, check out your favorite streamer. Check out your favorite YouTuber play it. And then whenever you get the gist of it, you be like, okay. And then at that point, if you still want to keep playing it, go buy it. By that time, the price would drop down to $40-$30. But as of right now, as good of a game as it does seem, unless you are a die-hard Resident Evil fan, you really want to see what happens, I'll say, you know, save your money for something else a little bit more entertaining.
I disagree.
Oh, all right. Tell me why you disagree.
If you're a die-hard Resident Evil fan, it's a good game and you should play it. Because once you, I guess my thing is not about the game itself, or about long-term thing, like replay value or whatever. But if you're a die-hard fan, I think you should play the damn game as a fan.
Did I not say that?
Well, no, you just like check it out through.
No, I mean like unless you are a die-hard Resident Evil fan. Like if you're not, then go check out the streams and the YouTubers and all that. But if you're a fan, kind of like if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, we don't need to tell people you think you should buy it. You already got it. You pre-ordered it. You got the little statues and all the other stuff. You already got it. So like, I already know that those people already are getting their own shit.
That's true. I guess what I was saying is, if you have an interest in it, I think you should. I'm kind of still leaning on the side. Like if you have an interest, count it as your $50 investment and experience fresh. Because if you watch somebody else play it, it's like, you know, like playing a demo and seeing what happened to Alina and her father is different than like you playing it versus me watching it. And that's the demo, which was free. You know, we all could experience that.
Mm.
Like it's little beats like that, because that might be referenced somewhere in the game. And like you might watch a streamer walk past and like, oh, isn't that girl's dress? Did she survive the fire? But to you playing, that would be a completely different realization for you versus listening to like Markiplier mention it, because you may have ignored that whole part while you was playing. Like, I didn't notice that. Or like something like, oh shit, that is a like medallion or some shit. And that's where I'm saying, it's just, RE is a great game. Well, if you're into that, you should try it. I guess the long-term effect of what I'm getting at is, how is the Twitch streaming and having all the stuff at your fingertips going to change how you're actually going to engage with things you want to watch? Because like even now, it's like, even now we live in a world where it's like, oh, the movie I'm coming out that I want to see. Like I want to see Fast and Furious 9. There's 100 ways to see it that's not probably legal. Yeah. But I think I want to go see it in the theater just because it's one of those summer movies and I haven't been to the theater in a while. You know what I mean? Like, I am choosing to go out of my way to do it this way so I can experience it the way that it used to be. Yeah, I could watch it on my phone or at home or some shit, you know, but it's not going to be the same experience and memories and things. It'll just be considered like everything else. Like, oh, a girl coming over, put on Fast and Furious in the background. Versus, yo, we spent $40. We went to the movies. We made a whole day out of it, and it's a 2.5-hour movie. Like, you're gonna remember more and actually focus.
Hey, so
yeah, I'm still there. Or even compare that to you watch somebody streaming the shit on Twitch, and you're watching them watching the movie. Like, it's like 3 completely different ways of experiencing the content.
Oh yeah, that was fucking weird. All right, that's interesting. All right, with that being said, I am going to close this game because it froze on me for a cool 5 minutes, and as I'm watching my stream, waiting for it to like stop reacting, and next thing I know, we're still talking, and then it just like unfreezes itself. So like, I'm ending the game. I'm ending the stream. Thank you guys very much for watching our take on the Resident Evil Village demo to see whether or not we should, purchase the game and play for it ourselves. I was more excited about Cyberpunk, watching Hunter play Cyberpunk, than I was about outside when I was playing the game. But I'm like, do I really want to drop $60 on this game? No, but I did drop $60 on Cyberpunk. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys the next time we fucking do another demo. And hopefully the computer won't give me all this other shit problems. Later, guys. Oh, Hunter, you want to say bye?